If you were to tell most people that a 2014 point-and-click horror game where you were tasked with surviving 5 nights at a Chuck E. Cheese wannabe, whilst PNGs of badly crafted beavers occasionally hurled themselves at you, would overtake the world, I'm pretty sure those people would be very shocked. I would even argue that the creator of this game, Scott Cawthon, would also be very shocked. Until he started seeing a paycheck. This animatronic gang is made up of lead singer Freddy Fazbear, lead guitarist Bonnie the Bunny / Rabbit, Chica the Chicken, the girl requirement, and Foxy, the pirate. All haunted by the spirits of the children whose murdered corpses reside inside the tummies of our animatronic band. An animatronic band made up of the 4 roles that every band needs. The lead singer, the lead guitarist, the girl, and the tattered, shell-shocked husk of a sailor. But you may have heard about Five Nights at Freddy's from doing your own research in 3rd grade, where you snuck in your horribly cracked iPad to play the child death game at recess. Or from your emo girlfriend who told you that her hallway pass is essentially voice actor Killian Goth. Or from your annoying nephew who speaks in tongues.
6, 7. I believe the children are our future.
I believe the children are our future.
Was that the bite of 87?
Yes.
Cinemas across the world when the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie released. A day that has been prophesized since 2015. If you were attending your local AMC on October 27th of 2023 to go see the action comedy starring John Cena titled Freelance, suffice to say you were probably shocked to see a different crowd than what you're usually used to. The theaters were packed with the boys, the children, the emos, the people looking for a fight, the furries, the Hunger Games freaks, the Funko collectors, shorts kids, horror movie fans, the horror stuck in that era, gate trash this entire genre, filled with female nudity to appeal to sticky-fingered teenage boys. This film united people together, and there you were, standing on the sidelines with your cold bucket of popcorn to go watch John Cena wrestle a crocodile. I don't know what happens in that movie. If you haven't been in a theater since that holy day because you're saving your virgin eyes to be lit up by the opening sequence of Freelance 2, a film that is 100% coming.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
You might not know that there are plans for a Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And by plans, I mean it comes out in
1 week.
But like, I know what you're thinking, like, well, Charles, how am I supposed to see this new film without any knowledge of the past film? Which, like, would be true. If you didn't have me! It's me! I revisited the pizzeria to share my findings with the group and to give you a completely 100% accurate retelling of this film, and so that you can push down Jeremiah, the 4th grade star athlete, as you race to your seats to watch FNAF 2 on December 5th. Because what does Jeremiah know about anything? You know, like, you could think of this as you being the weird kid in the friend group with the comically geeky glasses and that big retainer trying to fix that overbite that we can all still see. Trying to get in on the after-school Friday plan to be forcefully shoved inside of a slowly decaying fursuit of the Brayers of Splash Mountain. You're lost, and you're hopeless. That is until I decide to add you into the group chat that you didn't know existed, so that you can tag along with the other 5th graders in leaving your sense of security to be immortalized in an anthropomorphized, cheaply made statue of steel and fur. We like aren't gonna tag you in the obituary though. Like you understand, right? Like, come on. Film starts with security officer being chased down by pirate fox and then being strapped to a saw trap made up of spinning razors, needles, and shards of glass. A piece of furniture that every animatronic show has.
It's a country band musical jamboree.
Badly drawn rabbit, because there is nothing scarier than a child's delusions that their scribbled crayon drawings will one day get them a job to be worked to the point of exhaustion by Bob Iger. Mike Schmidt, played by Josh Hutcherson, wakes up in his Shane Dawson cosplay and introduces us to his younger sister Abby, who unbeknownst to many people is actually the film's main antagonist. Mike goes to his mall job where he forces his recently Instagram-studied spirituality on his peers through the form of his book Dream Theory that tells him that while he's asleep he can revisit memories as if they're happening anew as an active participant. A book he found at an overpriced thrift store who sells clothes made from turkey that is fronting for a local cult. Mike, still in Shane Dawson cosplay, beats up a child's father in a gorgeous mall fountain. Mike must now find a new job, where he meets with not William Afton, Steve Ragland, to discuss what businesses would be willing to hire a haunted, mentally unstable, narcoleptic wrestler, which of course would be the abandoned pizzeria where you must caretake for this unmarked graveyard in the dead of night, only left to the quiet whispers of your own rogue thoughts. Mike's like, no. He returns home jobless and is met by their babysitter, the Tumblr girl who alludes to her 7-part mini-series where her and Josh Hutcherson experience the highs and lows of a youthful marriage.
I wish someone would buy me a ring.
Which Josh Hutcherson ignores to go check on Abby, the demon. Mike comments on Abby's art, which she reacts by breaking his finger. Mike then gets ready for sleep, which he does by forcing himself to relive the trauma of his family's cookout being interrupted by the kidnapping of his younger brother. That's Dream Theory for ya!
Oh, got a thing, guys.
We are then introduced to Abby's ugly sweater vest, and Aunt Jade, a Disney-esque evil family member with a cowardly goon who wants to lock Abby away in her tower to harness her evil powers of badly drawn jungle cats. Mike's like, yeah, I know Abby is evil, but like, I can't really let her be detained by this white woman in a blazer. To which the caseworker tells him that maybe by getting a job, he will appear to be more of a responsible guardian. So that means it's time to call up 100% not William Afton to accept a job that will for sure drive you insane. Steve Afton then proceeds to tell Mike the lore of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which he does in a very normal person way.
I'm gonna kiss you.
Which then leads Mike to study up on how he can best do his new job. Annoying jump scare! Mike then decides to do anything other than his very simple job by being visited by the ghost of unemployment future! Woo! It is then revealed to us that Tumblr girl is actually a cheating wench who is spying on Mike to give all this information back to evil step-aunt Jane. And then Matt Pat shows up and just kind of does Matt Pat for a second. Evil step-aunt Jane is like, visit his place of work and rip the place to pieces, ensuring that he cannot go to the ball, thus making my daughters the only acceptable bachelors for the prince's love. A job that will go criminally underpaid.
$2,000.
One.
Abby tells Mike she wants to go to the pizzeria with him, and when he says no, she reacts by breaking his leg. Mike hobbles into his night job to once again dream the scenario of his brother's kidnapping and to maybe find the perpetrator. But this time, he is visited by the ghost children, one of which is a bad jump scare. A cop named Vanessa then randomly shows up and starts walking around and spreading the stench of her own millennial nostalgia.
Also, I really loved this place as a kid.
Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem? Honey.
And then she's like, oh my god, also a bunch of kids here went missing at some point, but what's more important than that is that you hear these robots sing a little tune. Morning of, evil step-aunt Jane's cheap hires revealed to the audience that they plan on splitting their fortune 4 ways. So $250 for flipping a table and then getting your back blown out by a 6-foot-tall rabbit. Abby then finds the legal documents discussing her guardianship, and Mike kind of just reacts like, Vanessa shows up and informs Mike that the pizzeria has been trashed. And you know how important that place is to me and the healing process of my inner child! Mike then reveals that he's sleeping in on the job to help solve the mystery of his little brother Garrett's disappearance. And he took the job to ensure the well-being of Abby following their parents' passing. Mike is unable to reach Tumblr Girl. Which means he has to take Abby to work with him. And unfortunately, Abby is like really cute and sweet in this scene. But don't be fooled, it's all an act overcompensating for the fact that she knows that her evil has been released from its cage. Annoying Duster too! Mike falls asleep and Abby explores the pizzeria where she finds Freddy and the gang. Mike once again visits the scene of his brother's disappearance, but this time was only visited by one of the ghost children, a little white boy. So Mike goes, "Little white boy, did you go missing?" And he goes, "Yeah." Then Mike is like, "Little white boy, could you help me find out who stole my brother?" And he goes, "Yeah," for something in return, and then reveals he too was a child with unrealistic hopes and dreams. Mike finally meets the animatronic gang and finds out that Abby has forced them all to succumb to her evil and be brainwashed into liking her bad drawings. Mike's then like, "Yeah, like we should just go." And then they leave. Mike then sits down with Abby and goes, "So?" And Abby responds with, "Yes, my evil did awaken the spirits trapped inside these animatronics who are like all super chill and cool with me." Mike then goes, "So?" And Abby responds with, "Yes, alongside my drawings of you and monkeys, I have occasionally been drawing art of our brother's kidnapping, an event that I know will send you into psychosis. And that was all revealed to me by the ghost friends who now like kind of work for me." Mike then takes Abby back to the pizzeria, hopes that she can talk to the ghost children and find out what happened to their brother. And then they build Abby a fort for all of her evil to reside in. Vanessa is then like, "Oh my god, like also like just be careful around the 7-foot walking death machines because like they are death machines." And then Abby dies. Mike decides to rid himself of evil once and for all, and decides to surprise Abby in the morning with a white woman in a blazer. Except it's evil step-aunt Jane! And then Abby's like, "There can only be one evil member in this family." Mike goes back to the pizzeria to tweak out on Ambien and is visited by the ghost children who are like, "Here's your little brother, give us Abby." And he like agrees.
Okay.
He is then beaten up by a bunch of 4-year-olds. And like, he doesn't tackle them. Like, fight, Mike. Fight them, you coward. Oh, welcome back, Saw Trap of spinning needles, razors, and shards of glass. And then like, Golden Freddy just kind of shows up and is like, "Come on, little girl, I just killed your aunt, and Corey Williams is waiting to take us back to the pizzeria so that you can be a death machine like us. Instead, you're serving Drac fishness at the gig, honey." Nessa is patching Mike's wounds that he got from literal babies and is like, "Oh my god, also, the robot ghosts have your sister in the car with Corey Williams, and they're taking her to undergo death machine surgery, because they themselves underwent death machine surgery that was botched by my father, not William Afton. Or should I say, 100% William Afton." And then she's like, "Oh, by the way, like, he totally murdered your brother." And Mike's like, "What?" Mike then saves Abby from serving too hard, honey. And then William Afton shows up and is like, "Yeah, I kill children and I'm gonna keep doing it." And then he like stabs his adult daughter, Vanessa. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna like create this brand of you being a child murderer, you need to stick to that. Abby then saves the day by using her evil powers to conjure the worst drawing she has ever made. So bad, in fact, that it literally causes William Afton to kill himself.
With phone charge, every bitch on here will get blocked.
I always come.
Mike and Abby visit Vanessa in the hospital and they're like, "Yeah, it does suck that like her father tried to murder her, but at least she got to survive 5 Nights at Freddy's 2. Get it? Just something cute for the children. Little white boy shows up one last time and goes, "Yeah." And then the movie ends. Annoying jump scare 3! So there you go. There's the entirety of the first 5 Nights at Freddy's film, retold in 10 minutes-ish. And now you can take all this newfound knowledge and go enjoy the new movie coming out on December 5th. Go! Run, children! Run! And like, I guess you can come with me in the squad, but like, just make sure you bring your mom's credit card for Nerds Clusters. You keep 3 seats in between you and us. And like, don't post this on your Instagram story. You know, like, we have an image to uphold. You get it, right? You understand.
I always come